Disruptors, I want to welcome you to another episode of Close the Deal podcast. Now, if you're in business and you're trying to grow your business and your systems and processes aren't exactly working very well, or you want to grow your business and you don't have systems and processes yet, you're not going to grow your business. You need the systems and processes. Today, I've got Adi Klevit from Portland, Oregon, who happens to be in Tampa today, but she's from Portland, Oregon, and her specialty is helping small businesses and businesses scale their business with systems and processes. Adi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Now, you're in Tampa today, but we're going to focus on your hometown.
That's right.
And I'll always love to ask the question, if I was coming to town to do business with you, or you have somebody you want to do business with, where do you take that person to close the deal?
Well, it depends what you like. I mean, if you want a good steak, we'll go to Jake's. If you are more adventurous, I love Andina's, which is a Peruvian restaurant in an area called the Pearl, very nice in downtown Portland.
Peruvian, you don't hear that. You're the first person. I mean, I'm around food all the time talking about food because of my background, but over here, I've never had somebody bring up a Peruvian restaurant ever.
It's wonderful. It is a wonderful, wonderful restaurant, and they have, tapas, so you can have small plates and ceviche, raw fish. It's wonderful. So I can take you there.
Oh, sounds good. All right. Next question is, who or what are you grateful for that helped you get you where you are today?
I'm grateful for my team. I have an amazing team of professionals that I just love them because they helped me get to where I am today, because without them, I can't run the business by myself. So I'm very grateful for my team.
Awesome. Well, let's roll into, so you specialize in systems and processes. And when we first connected, I'm like, this makes a lot of sense to do this podcast with you because of my background in the world of franchising. And the franchising is the foundation. It's the backbone of everything to do with franchises, to grow, to scale a franchise, to scale a business so that it can become a franchise. And you're helping businesses. Let's unpack. You saw a problem in the marketplace and you said, okay, I'm going to go solve that. Unpack how this came to be.
Sure. My background is industrial engineer. That's who I am. And I'm all into process improvement and process documentation and optimization. And that's been my career. So I work for international consulting companies. I was a manager, an executive. I mean, I've done a lot of things. And then I decided in 2011 to open my own company. And I started what I know how to do best, which was I'm a very good helping people strategize and create strategies and general business consulting and help company grows. I had 2 companies of my own. I helped the client running 3 companies for them. It was definitely my wheelhouse and I knew what to do. And immediately I got clients. But part of it, I would tell my clients, you got to document your processes. That's what you do. You help franchisors basically create franchises. They are very good at operating their business if they're good, right? So they can be a very good operator. So if you are helping, let's say a franchise, plumber to then franchise their business, they're very good plumbers, but they're not necessarily good business owners. Or if they are, they don't have processes. The majority of them don't. And I will tell my clients, you need to document your processes. Okay, good. 1 week will go by. The next week, you got to document your processes. Okay. Well, week after week and nothing gets done. So at some point I told them, hey, how about if I document it for you? Wow, you can do that? I said, absolutely. And that's how it came about. I recognized that niche, that need. So then we are a done it for you company where we document the processes and procedures for companies, fast growing companies that are lacking consistency.
So how do you, is it across all different types of businesses that you can do that with? Okay. Because it's the same principles across. So
10 principles.
So what does that look like? How do you do that? How do you go into a business? Okay. You look at the owner's hair's on fire because they just trying to put today's fire out. What's the process look like for you to go in and help them unpack their business so they can put SOPs in place?
So the first thing is we have to be on the same page. It's a partnership because this is not an easy project, meaning not For me, it's easy. For my team, it's easy. I'm not saying it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're an entrepreneur, a visionary, you don't necessarily always want to stop what you're doing and start documenting. And you shouldn't also because you have your team. So it's not that you need to, but just the concept, the idea of like, wow, how am I going to document everything can be pretty daunting.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that we do is we identify the why. And I'm going to give you the steps. I'm going to give the listeners the steps of how to do it. So
Oh, great. I
the
love
first
it.
thing that you do, yeah, you have to find your own why. Why do you want processes and procedures? Not because you read it in a business book, not because somebody told you. What is your own drive to do that? It might be that you want to franchise your business, right? I mean, you want to find out how you can do that and be a franchisor and get franchises. It might be that you want to exit the business, so you don't want to be there working 80 hours a week. It might be that you have an employee that has been there for the last 20 years and now they are going to leave, or you feel like there is a fear if they're going to leave, then what? So really identify for yourself, like be honest with yourself, like why do you want processes and procedures?
Okay.
Once you do that, then find the area where to start.
Mm.
And how do you do that? You look at the entire company and you ask yourself, what is one area in my company? If I had well documented processes and procedures, I will get the biggest return on investment. And what is return on investment? Return on investment can be, of course, it can be profit, but return on investment can be you get time back.
Bye.
Right? I mean, maybe you can hire the employee you wanted always to hire, and the training time cuts it down. I mean, I had a client who she said, you know what I want? I want to be able to get out of my business every Tuesday and go pick up my daughter from preschool and go to her whenever gymnastic or whatever she was doing. That was her return on investment. So we have to figure out what the return on investment is. And one of the things that we always do with the clients is that we identify the measurement of success. So I always ask, if we were here a year from now and you worked with us, how would you know that this project was a success? If you can't answer the question, we're going to dig into it because we have to identify. If you don't have a problem right now, why are you going to spend all this time documenting? But businesses do need documentation, but we need to know what that is. And that is what we're going to identify first.
Okay.
Once we have that, start with that area.
Okay.
We are experts. If you hire us, we come in, we interview. Let's say we decided we're going to document sales first or operations or whatever it is. We're going to meet with the subject matter experts. We're going to process map from beginning to end. We're going to use sticky notes. We do it virtually, we do it in person as well. But basically the process map from beginning to end, where does it start? Where does it end? And what happens in between? Identify the big steps.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we interview, extract the information, and we write it. Now, if you want to do it yourself, what you need to do is you identify one process that if you have it documented, it will get you the biggest return on investment. So one thing at a time.
The big one.
Exactly. Then you're going to map it, take sticky notes and write from beginning to end. This is where I start, this is where I end, and what happens in between. And start recording videos. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do that, the other thing? At least now you have something there.
Right.
Now we found that, you have to use the 4 methods of learning so we need to do it visually. So there will be audio, there will be a video that has visual and audio. Read and write is very important as well. People want instructions. So you definitely want to write the instructions. It's kinesthetic. People like to touch and do. So exercises in doing and applying and experiencing it is very important as well. You can have downloadable documents, whatever it is, you write a process.
Okay.
And I would suggest that if you have a team, you don't do it yourself. You go to the person you want to clone. You go to the subject matter expert, and then you extract the information for them or tell them to follow the process.
Okay.
Once this is done, then you roll it out to the team. So let's say you are writing your accounting procedures. If you have 3 people that are actually doing bookkeeping, then you give the procedure to each one of the bookkeepers and have them go over it and make sure that it's correct. And that's where you also optimize. What can we do better? How can we improve the sequence? How can we use automation? Whatever it is, you optimize it as well. And then you roll it out to everyone.
Do you find when it's something where it's three different people, let's say there are three different bookkeepers, right? Do you find yourself taking three different processes that they have and bringing them to one, or does it there are probably redundancies, I would imagine in
There
three different.
are.
Okay,
There are, but yes. Yes, we want to have the ABC company way of doing things.
gotcha.
But it's a very good point. It has to be collaborative. We have to see how it's being done now and then figure out what is the most efficient and what is the best practice.
Okay. And then roadblocks. I imagine your process reveals breakage, reveals other problems. What do you discover in unpacking somebody's business so that you can document the process?
Very good question. So we uncover all kind of bottlenecks, roadblocks, things that have been done for a long time that people don't understand why this is the way we've always done it. Inefficiencies, bad habits, broken systems that then get compensated by creating part of the process that has to be done, but it's really unnecessary. It's not really based on anything that is necessary. There's a lot of those things, and that's why we challenge by asking, why are you doing it this way? Let's see if there is another way. What do you think about this? What's working, what's not, what's annoying you about this process, etc.
So what happens next? So you start getting, you start putting it in all the different formats, and those formats are video,
Audio, I mean, the video that was also audio, screenshots for the visual, written instructions.
Okay, that's good. So once you have that, what's the next step? What's the next step?
Well, then it's the rolling out. We have to roll it out to everyone and make sure that the processes are followed by all, because if they're not being implemented and there is no accountability, there's no point in writing those processes.
That's right.
So we make sure that those processes are being rolled out and everyone knows them.
How long? I mean, I'm sure some processes are pretty complicated. I would imagine most things are not. How long does it take you to go in, and you're coming in with a fresh set of eyes, and you're forcing them by starting the question of why. So it's making them think about something that they've never thought about before.
Correct.
So how long does it normally take let's say a small business, how long does it normally take to get a business, their processes in order?
It can take. A small business is a matter of months. A bigger business is longer. And what we found is that busy entrepreneurs usually do not have the time to give us. It's all that we can go there for 15 hours a week.
That's what I was going to ask next. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we have a 90-minute rule. Anybody can give us 90 minutes. If not, they're not ready for us.
Okay.
So we basically meet once a week for 90 minutes, extract that information. You have to understand that for us, 90 minutes up front, because we're very fast and know exactly what to ask, equals to about 10 hours behind the scenes of actually our technical writers writing everything. So it's the heavy lifting is on us, but we need from our clients about 90 minutes up front for a meeting a week and then reviewing what we wrote. So then we got to the next meeting, we can continue the process and move forward.
Gotcha. So then you roll it out, and then, do you stick around to look at the ROIs to see what does the process look like once they've rolled it out? Are you still consulting with them over a period of time?
Yeah, we have a maintenance program where we come back and we review the processes and we adjust them as needed. We also consult on optimization. So yes, we do look at the ROI, and if it's not working or whatever is not working, then we also give advice on how we can optimize it and help them optimize it.
Are there certain industries, I'm not sure are there certain industries you see just need a lot more help than others? And is there a specialty of areas that you go into?
I think it depends on the industry. I mean, it depends on the owner, it depends on the staff, it depends. They all need it. I mean, I haven't. Well, you help franchisors day out. Have you ever encountered an industry where you say, oh, you don't need processes, you can just fly with a seat of your pen?
I always like to say, not every entrepreneur is meant to be a franchisor, but every franchisor helps create entrepreneurs because they're going to give them the systems and processes.
I'm just curious, like from your standpoint, I'm going to ask the question, like
Sure.
what is a good franchisor?
What coachability?
Yeah,
The coachability, 100%. Because I mean, you think about what you just said, 90%, you need 90 minutes of their time. If they can't give you the 90 minutes, how do you coach them? How do you guide
no, that's a very good point because I think it's a problem. Yeah,
them?
that's right.
Any other nuances that you want to bring up that you've seen where, okay, this is where they were, this is how we were able to turn them around?
Yeah, I mean, you have to always measure it against the measurement of success that we identified at the beginning.
Hmm.
And you got to make sure you're getting the return on investment. And that is a key. And we get it every single time. It has to happen
Yes.
because otherwise, what's the point of doing this project?
Yes. Now,
And
do
we
you
can tell you, I can share with you success of the success of clients selling their businesses at a higher price, reduction of errors to zero, satisfied employees that now they don't have the frustration,
th-
onboarding onboarding people much faster, like reduction of training time.
what about safety?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like less accidents, and it's
Mhm.
also absolutely
Okay.
safety. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to get, and we'll land the plane here because you've really hit on the key elements of what it takes and every business needs this. I mean, if you're in business and you want to grow a business, you have to have this. It's
Absolutely.
not, it really isn't optional. What, let me ask you another question. If you were going to go back and talk to yourself when you were starting this business and from what you've learned, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself, this is a great business model. People need you and continue and don't get discouraged because you know how it is at the beginning when you get started.
Yes.
So I go like, yes, it's going to be a big success. People are going to need you and you're going to help a lot of people. That's the main thing. You're going to help a lot of businesses and change the lives of a lot because it's not just the business owner. We empower the
Mhm.
teams as well. So we change people's lives because they don't come to work annoyed or frustrated. What's going to happen? And we take the uncertainty out because
Yeah.
now they know what they need to do and what is expected of them.
Yeah. And the need never stops.
That's right. That's
The
right.
need,
Yeah.
the need. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, so you can, and do you go all over the United,
All
obviously?
over the United States, and we
Okay.
also have international clients, but yeah, all over the United States,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So if someone wants to get in touch with you so you can help them systemize and create processes for their business. How do they do that?
So I'm on LinkedIn. It's Adi Klevit. So it's
Okay.
ADI, KLEVIT. You can also go to our website, Biz Success CG for consulting group. So BIZ, success spelled out, CG.com.
Okay.
And we have there, you can book a free consultation with me or with one of our representatives. And we have also, you can also call or text us at 503
Mhm.
662 2911.
Perfect. All right. We'll have all that information on the web page we create for your business and for this podcast. And Addie, I want to thank you for being part of Close the Deal. And what you do is absolutely 100% essential. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me. You are a great interviewer
Yeah,
and we had a great conversation. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And that is a wrap with Addie. And I'll say this throughout my career, before I got to the world of franchising, I ran trade associations and representing thousands of small business owners and consulting with them. And there was one common thread of success. There's several key, but one major common thread of success were those that had systems and processes, were those that had the greatest success and had the most control over their time so that they could work on the business and not in the business. So if you need help with your business, make sure you get in touch with Addie. I appreciate you getting this far. Anybody who gets this far, I consider you all the closers. We go from disruptors to the closers. And I have a favor to ask. To get the word out, I love producing these shows. I love creating these shows. I love putting out the content. And it is helpful for people. And if you could just share this, like it, hit the bell, give it 5 stars on Apple, those things really do make a difference and they help a lot. And I appreciate you doing that. And I appreciate you being a closer, sticking with us to the very end. And you know the drill. Be intentional and make today a great day. Bye-bye.